I'd like to call the town board to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Here.
Trustee Frierson?
Here.
Trustee Deteen?
Here.
Trustee McKinney? Chairman Neal?
Here. Are there any agenda changes? Hearing none. Item 4, approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on March 15th, 2016 at 6:30 p.m., as well as the budget workshop held on April 7th, 2016 at 4:30 p.m. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? And just to say how much I appreciated having everybody over and being able to have the conversations about, to share what we do, and such an efficient workshop with the budget, so it was really nice. Gail really appreciated it. She was scared to death, so that was good. So, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Frierson?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Are there any citizens' comments? Hearing none. Authorized bills for payment, Trustee Deteen.
This afternoon, I met with the Township Supervisor and her assistant and with the Township Assessor. I went over the bills and found everything to be in order, so I respectfully request that I make a motion that these bills be paid.
Is there a second? Okay. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Frierson?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Next item is consider approval of the 2016-2017 Zion Township budget, which goes from May 1st, 2016 through April 30th, 2017, per Chairman Neal. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee McKinney. Second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Frierson. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Frierson?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Assessor's report.
Well, tax bills will be coming out real soon, and I've got some interesting paperwork for you guys to take a look at. Again, the tax rates did go up only slightly this year, but again, we're number one throughout the county, which I don't know if that's such a great thing, but there's some good comparisons in here to other municipalities and other cities, and I even threw in Kenosha and Pleasant Prairie. I don't know what to say. We don't want to be number one anymore, but maybe next year with the values going up, and if everybody holds their line on the budgets, maybe we can see a decrease in the tax rates. That's all I have.
Larry, comparing Kenosha and Pleasant Prairie to Illinois, they tax in a lot of different ways, don't they? So it's not really comparing apples to apples, is it?
Yeah, it's comparing apples to apples. Real estate tax is real estate tax.
Right. But they make up to be able to pay their bills in other ways, don't they?
Such as?
Well, for one, they tax retirement. They do a lot of other things that we don't have taxes on.
I guess what I put this down here for is if you were a young couple coming through the area, where would you rather live? Would you rather live in Zion with the tax rate of 21.456, or would you rather live in Kenosha or Pleasant Prairie that have a tax rate of 6? I guess that's the comparison I look at. Sure. Also, yes, they do tax retirement, but they do not tax food. So I guess it's just a comparison of communities in Lake County and a couple in Kenosha County. I like looking at the pie charts. I think that it really jumps out where our tax dollars are going. And this will be available in my office on the counter, and when people start coming in June, this is what I'll be handing out. And as you can see on the bottom, I've given the phone numbers to the taxing bodies.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You know what, this is something that when somebody comes in upset, this is really a good piece of paper to give to them. They can actually see where their tax dollars are going. And I think Sherry and I have, if you look at our piece of pie, it's probably the smallest piece of pie on there. As you guys can see, there's two different taxing districts. Some of them go to Beach Park schools, and that's the one that's the lower, and the ones that are Zion Elementary is the higher one.
Is that difference just because of the size of the two districts?
Yeah. And then if you really want to dig into it, I kind of like the page where the stuff is in red, where it shows the predominant tax rates. Like District 6 is up 68% in the last 5 years. District 126 is up 55%. The city of Zion is up 54% in 5 years. Zion Park District's 47%. Zion Township down 3.41%, and the library is up 60%.
So have you spoken with any of the other tax advisors about these increases? Have you shared this with anyone?
I haven't shared it with anybody, but I am on a taxing body committee, and I think they're tired of me saying this every time I talk to them.
Well, I mean, the last time you produced this, it was passed out to in our joint taxing body meeting, so everybody is aware of this.
Oh, they will be aware of it, but you guys are the first ones. I just got done with this. The tax rates were just finalized Friday.
I mean, what I'm saying is last year, you did the exact same thing, and all the taxing bodies got a copy of this, so we know where we stand. And
So you're saying I should give this to all the taxing bodies?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, it'll be on the
next
web.
time we meet, we'll pass it out.
Okay, it'll be on the website, and
Yeah.
the news travels pretty fast around here, so. But yeah, our next meeting, I have no problem. And like I said, this is something that's on my counter. It'll be on my website. I will probably give it to the newspapers also.
Larry, is it correct to say that because in the last 5 years, our assessment's down almost, 19%, that's the reason that our tax rates have gone up, because we've tried to adjust levies to compensate for the loss of property values.
Sure, I agree with
So
that.
when we look at the 54.8% for the city of Zion, or that's largely due to the city and other taxing bodies trying to keep up with the loss of property.
Correct, and that's why I'm saying that this year, with the values going up in the neighborhood of 8 to 9%, if we keep our budgets where they are now, we should see a nice decrease in our tax rate. Yeah, and I think that's what we need to stress to the taxing bodies. I mean, if they levy the exact same amount, then obviously the tax rates are going to go down a lot.
Right. I agree. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments? Mr. Brumner?
Supervisor, the situation in Springfield being what it is, how much does the state of Illinois owe the township, if anything?
We don't-
Are dependent on state monies?
No, we do not get state dollars. So we're fine. We have not had to depend on that.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. Yeah, we get about 2% of the tax bill, and that's what we rely on for our programs.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else for the assessor? Okay. Thank you very much, Larry, for all the work you guys put into that.
No problem.
Supervisors report announcements. First, again, I just want to thank those of the trustees that attended the tour. And one of the things that we talked about was actually providing that same tour to the city commissioner with a few of their department people. Because one of the disconnects that we have is the departments, none of us really know what each other do, and we just rely on each other, minimally. And I think the collaboration could be a lot more substantial if we were to begin to have those conversations. So if, when you have your commissioner hat on, if you would consider doing the same thing and bringing a couple of your department heads over and having a tour and talking about what we can do and how we can collaborate. That would be wonderful. Next included is the monthly report for March, as well as we finished up today the annual report for 2015. And in here we included all the different information about the services that the township provided and the assessor's office. We shared a complete explanation about the misconceptions about township programs, as well as one of our most recent client success stories. Larry shared a lot of information about the assessor's office, and then we gave the tax breakdown from 2015 in there, and then as well as the budget, what we had budgeted, what we are spending, and then the proposed budget for this year. So you have that to be able to take a look at. We just wanted to keep everything together and provide you with an overview for the year in the little booklet. Additionally, so just to share some of the stuff that's gone on this last month since the last meeting, I had the pleasure of having Boy Scout Troop 663 to the township and assisted them with 3 different merit badges. It was very interesting. I'm going to skip the next one and come back to it. I accompanied the Queen Bees of Zion Red Hat Society to the Catholic Charities Meals on Wheels Volunteer Appreciation Dinner. And just as a shout out, Catholic Charities is always looking for more volunteers for the Meals on Wheels program. It takes about 45 minutes. You don't have to know the roads in the community. They give you a specific directions list that tells you turn right at this street, turn left at this street, which door to go to. It's very descriptive. So if anybody would consider becoming a Meals on Wheels volunteer, contact the township and we can get you the phone number for Catholic Charities. I also went out to Mundelein and met with the Lake County Center for Independent Living. I met with a group of about 20 adults with disabilities to share with them the role of township government, what the different ones do, and it was a really great time. They had some incredible questions and are pretty powerful advocates. They were getting ready to go to Springfield, and so they got to sharpen their saw on me a little bit by asking some good questions. So that was really good. That's actually how I met your wife. just thinking of that, aside from your daughter. The Zion Benton Leadership Academy alumni is going to be hosting an alumni event that's open to everybody, and it's Discover New Tools to Equip Our Youth to Face Today's Challenges. And join us for a workshop on how to effectively reach youth in today's culture, featuring Zion's own Calvin King and the Free Lunch Academy and Artistic Outreach. The event will include a TED Talk, stage play, and Q&A session on engaging youth. That's going to be out at Zion Benton Township High School this Saturday from 10 until noon in the lecture hall. Additionally, we will be providing walk-in appointments for LIHEAP applicants, individuals who are low income and need assistance with their utility bills. That will be on Tuesday, April 26th from 12:45 to 3:45. I just want to remind everybody that Mano a Mano is in the community. They are located in Pierce campus. They assist with citizenship, DACA, green card renewals, TPS, as well as assisting with Medicaid, All Kids, SNAP, child support, and temporary driver's licenses. And they're located over at Pierce campuses, but you need to call 847-201-1521 to be able to make an appointment so that they'll be at the office. So, and this report is on our website under this month's meeting so that you can get all of this information that I'm sharing. I attended the Mano a Mano Gala last Saturday night, and it was incredible. The support that they have for services is pretty powerful. We've got the 14th annual Senior Resource Day coming up Wednesday, April 27th at the Zion Sports Arena at 8:30 a.m. If any of the trustees are around and would like to come for a little bit, we would love to introduce you at the event. The next day, on April 28th, I am going to be joining the Zion Elementary Youth Leadership Team at We Day Chicago. It is a huge event that honors kids that are involved in the community and making a difference. So I'm really excited to accompany Leatrice Williams from Zion Central Middle School and Christian Wilson in that program. So I'm thinking I'm going to need a lot of sleep the night before and the night after. And then on Friday, April 29th, the office will be closed. We were going to do our staff retreat. We used to do it in January, but with the fiscal year, we decided that we wanted to focus on the programs fiscally that way, so we will be closed that day. Zion Township Human Services Committee will be meeting on Tuesday, May 3rd from 2:30 until 4 p.m. Just to share with you, I know that I submitted that information to the board when I was out of town, and I think Trustee McDowell, you had asked the question, what's the difference between Respond and what we're doing with the Human Services Committee? And back in 2004, I started the group. It had a different name, but called Respond. And it was to try and get the frontline workers of the social service agencies around the county to know each other. Because when we would call someplace frustrated because we couldn't find resources for someone, they would be, it would not be a pretty conversation. And one of the things that I knew was that if we knew each other and then we're in relationship, nobody would get frustrated except for when there's not resources, and that we would work together. And the thing that people have said over and over again is that with Respond, it went from 2 weeks, a tank of gas and a bottle of migraine medicine, to 20 minutes on the phone. My favorite thing to share, and I don't know how much Willie likes it, but Willie Lewis from DHS comes to the meetings, and he actually shared his cell phone number because there's no way to call DHS. So the relational piece to it was really incredible with being able to do that. But one of the things that I realized is that agencies move in here, and we had an agency that moved into Pierce campus, and their mission was to help adults that had mental illness. So they had a psychiatrist on staff to help balance medications. It was a huge gap in our community that they filled, and they're gone. And never heard why, never heard how we could have helped them. And so in talking with a couple of the executive directors for other social service agencies, realized that if we have not necessarily the executive director, but whoever holds the heartbeat for the organization, meeting once in a while, and we were talking about what's your mission, what's your goals, how can we support you, then we can all succeed. And we had our first meeting, we had 4 agencies there, and we had consumer credit counseling services at the Top Box event sharing information about being able to get budgeting, and Mano a Mano was there sharing information with that. Had we not had that conversation, we wouldn't have had those opportunities. So there were a few people that didn't make it, and they were really disappointed. So I'm looking forward to those conversations, and that's the whole point, is the stronger we can make the agencies that are here in achieving their goals, then the more successful our residents are. So I made it a point. Carmen Patlan is the outreach coordinator for the Waukegan Public Library. She lives in Beach Park. And we made it a point that on Cinco de Mayo, we're meeting with the executive director of Mano a Mano and finding out what are her goals for the year. And then we're setting it that those are also our goals for the year, so that we can help make that substantial, because it's a huge need in our community, and I want to make sure that we're able to be successful with that. So additionally, the summer work program. The county came to Zion Township and did interviews last Saturday, and it was incredible. It's a huge shift. The kids used to have to be driven down to Waukegan and wait in line and do all kinds of stuff, and the staff at the Job Center of Lake County agreed to come to the Zion Township and start doing the appointments. So it has been just a huge blessing for us that they were willing to do that. Just to share with you, ZB Run Squad Mama's Run that supports Coalition for Healthy Communities is going to be on Saturday, May 7th. Would love to have everybody come. You don't have to run the 5K. You can walk the 5K. Would love to see everybody out for that. Top Box is going to be at the Shallow Center on Wednesday, May 11th from 12:30 until 2. I was on the website today and noticed that some of the information still says that they're till 2:30. They are not. They needed that time because they leave from Zion and go to North Chicago. So it is only from 12:30 until 2. They've been hugely successful. I met them actually at a Respond meeting and asked them, they said, well, we've always wanted to come to Zion. I was like, when do you want to come to Zion? And it was in May. And they said, well, what do you mean? I'm like, when do you want to start? I said, well, I said September, October, and connected them with Marilyn Krieger, who is the chairman of the Wellness Subcommittee of the Coalition. And sure enough, they were able to come that quickly, and we have huge support, and it's really, really a positive statement for our community. The founder and executive director is Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy's son, Chris Kennedy. So it's kind of cool to have somebody with that kind of legacy that's coming here and seeing what an amazing community we have. So I'm really proud of that. The senior prom is coming up on May 14th. And it will be out at Zion Benton Township High School, and you can get tickets at the Zion Park District. Let's see, Chalk Talk. I shared with you last month Chalk Talk and what a huge success it was. The effect of that is pictures that were taken at the events, and we are planning a Chalk Talk sidewalk art gallery, which will be held on Memorial Day weekend. May 28th will be the official opening of it. We will be having a pop-up art gallery that will be in the vacant business at Market Square Hotel. And it will just be a one-day art gallery that we'll be setting up with the pictures, as well as we are going to be asking the businesses in the 2700 block of Sheridan Road if they would be willing to put the pictures. We're creating posters, 24 by 36 posters, to put in all the windows that they say yes to, as well as the Benton Township Supervisor, Jan Southard, is working on businesses and with the Prom Beach Park. So hopefully, my prayer is that people come and they look at those pictures and it changes how they feel about everybody in our community. That is my prayer with that. The pictures are powerful. Any of you that are interested in coming on Monday, May 2nd, we're having a get-together at my house to choose the pictures for the posters. So I don't know how many people my house holds, but we'll hold as many as want to come and help choose those pictures. So looking forward to that. The deadline for the Zion Benton Leadership Academy applications for the class of 2016 is May 31st. So anybody that's interested, any adult that is interested in getting involved in leadership in the community, we urge you to go online and fill out that application. It is an incredible experience. Hopefully you can attest to it. Mike, you've been a mentor with the program, so continuing it on with year 5, so excited. Sherry Jessel, our state representative, is a graduate of ZBLA, as is quite a few actually elected officials in the community already, so I'm very proud of that. Community Character Walk, just to have you put it in your calendar. Kirk Henderson oversees that committee, and we have set the date for Thursday, September 15th, as well as the Secretary of State Super Senior Program will be coming here on October 20th. And that's the last 2 things I have on my report is just if you have an event that's taking place, we have a monthly calendar that's posted on the ZB Guide. To please forward that information to Chris at goflow.com. And then the ZB Community Character, we're looking for nominations of people who are caught living out character. You can email that to zbcharacterclub@gmail.com, or you can send it to the ZB News. There was a great article in there a couple weeks ago about a senior in town that she actually fell, and a kid got off the bus and ran right over to her and picked her up and helped her to her house. So I want to thank you very much for including those. It's so cool to see the positive stuff that's going on. I actually had an individual come to my office today with a picture. She was waiting in the parking lot at PNC Bank for somebody, and it was really windy, and one of the seniors was walking, and one of the Joanna Mapes, one of the clerks, came running out and helped her all the way from her car, all the way in, and then walked her back out to her car. So this resident, Kim Whiteside, actually ran up to her and took a picture of them and then asked her name and said that she was busted, and it was really cute. So really proud of the efforts that are being made for that. So I think that is everything that I have. I think that's enough. It was a crazy month. Oh, no, that's not everything. So a couple other things. So what I wanted to share with you, I have a stack here. Trustee McDowell, you have been talking for a while. We've been talking about consolidation and, what are some of the things that we can do to just find out what's the best thing to do with the governments in our community. And the same day as the mayor's luncheon that was held by the chambers, I had put together a meeting with the city of Evanston, 8 coterminous township supervisors, and the sponsor of the bill, Senator Pam Altoff, so that we could just sit down and talk, because nobody knew. There was all kinds of rumors and misinformation saying, that they would pass a bill and the townships would have to merge with the cities and all kinds of stuff. And so we met with Evanston, and I included the report in the stack that I gave you tonight from the city of Evanston. But the bottom line that came from it was that the city of Evanston has a Health and Human Services department. So to include the few services, the Evanston Township was only providing a few services at their township, and so to bring them under the city, it saved them a lot of money, including they were paying rent of $75,000 a year to another agency, which was a huge cost that they saved. But aside from that, one of the things that came from it was everybody 100% agreement that we're all in favor of consolidation discussions, but we want facts. We don't want he said, she said, spin, stories going around about how it's going to save us, $1 million when that's not the facts, or the opposite. And so we asked Senator Altoff if she would bring to include in the bill a provision that anybody before a referendum could go on the ballot, that there has to be a third-party study done. That's not the one party doing it against the other party. And I brought up Lake County. There was a huge effort. The county paid a lot of money to do a study in-house with their own staff, but it takes a lot of time to put together a study on what savings there would be to get rid of the township assessors. So
Yeah,
they do this report.
I think they figured out that it wasn't going to save them that much money, and they pretty much dropped it.
No. I had a very heated discussion with Aaron Lawler about it yesterday. So the point of it is that the county did a report. Then the township assessors look at it, and there's all kinds of holes in it. So they're saying, well, you say it's going to save this, but you didn't take into consideration this and this and this. Well, now we've got people pitting against each other. He said, she said, and it ends up to the point where there's people are really heated about it. And it serves our entire state that Springfield not do that to communities. If there is a third party, and I brought up some of the universities, to come in and just do a full evaluation where everybody sits down, we make sure it's got all the facts. Then we make it goes on the ballot, and then the voters actually know what they're voting for.
That's if there's a consolidation between two different townships?
Maybe, or township and city, or school districts, or fire protection districts, or anybody that they do a third-party study to make sure that they have, everything, that there's not unintended consequences that haven't been looked at before it goes on the ballot. So.
And that would be mandated by law to do that, or cities and townships could opt to do that?
So my preference would be that it be mandated, because otherwise people don't have to, especially if they don't want the facts. They want the spin. If you don't want a full report that actually gives it, and it has to be cost effective, then we don't want a report, because I just want to spin it and say what I want to say. So Pam Altoff 100% agreed to that, and in the 11th hour, the bill was pulled, and another bill was created, and Julie Morrison and Melinda Bush picked up that bill. And so I was on the phone with Melinda all day Friday, all day Saturday, sharing this, and she completely understood it and said that she will move forward with it. So we had the press conference yesterday, and the bill was shared. So that was the piece to it, was moving that forward. So none of the bills that are going from these guys.
Is the content of that bill, the text of that bill, public?
Yes, it's Senate Bill 388 and 389. And
You can just Google it and you can find it.
yeah, but the bottom line with that, with those bills, is that there's nothing mandated. It's so that government agencies have the opportunity to do it, and they don't have to fight legislation in order to be able to consolidate if they think it's the right thing for them.
Well, for coterminous city township, we already have a mechanism. It's in the state statutes, but it's a convoluted process.
Right, and they're trying to clean it up. So, yeah, so that would be good. So, yeah, so that's the update for that, and then, so more to come. You know, I emailed Aaron Lawler and asked him, because he had talked about one of the universities that might be really good for that, and said that we were looking, I would love to do an evaluation to see what's the best thing for our community. Is it best to keep Zion Township and Benton Township? Is it best to combine? Is it better to have Zion Township go under the city? It's, you know, what are the opportunities and what are the, you know, what are the costs and what are the benefits and what's the impact on services for our community?
Well, I'm really glad that you're exploring this, and I think we need to answer those questions. I read the newspaper article, and one of the comments that you made is there are too many I don't knows. And it would be good to get the answer to some of those questions.
Absolutely.
Figure out what a process would be.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I agree with that. So, excellent. So, one step at a time, one day at a time, sweet Jesus. It's my theme song these days. So, that's as much as there. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fryerson?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Neal?
Aye. You're up, Al.